I was floored when I overheard my cheating wife confide in her friend, "I've been meaning to tell you. I started an affair with my boss." Her friend's response was a dagger. "So, are you finally going to leave that loser?" But my wife just laughed and said, "Not yet. First, I'm going to drain every penny out of this fool, humiliate him to the max, and then toss him out like trash." Little did she know, I was already one step ahead. My revenge was swift, calculated, and utterly devastating. James, a hard-working husband from Dallas, Texas, stood frozen in disbelief as he overheard his wife, Emily, on a phone call that would shatter his world. Her words cut through the quiet evening like a knife. "I've been meaning to tell you. I started an affair with my boss." For years, James had been the picture of a devoted husband, tirelessly supporting Emily and their seemingly perfect life together. He had never imagined her love was a facade. That night, as he walked past their bedroom to grab a glass of water, her hushed voice stopped him in his tracks. Standing just outside the door, his heart sank as he listened to every devastating word, realizing the trust and dedication he had built their marriage on had been nothing more than a cruel illusion. As James stood frozen, his disbelief turned to horror as Emily's conversation unfolded. Speaking with her close friend, her tone was chillingly casual as she confessed, "I started an affair with my boss." But what followed was far worse. Her friend asked, "So, are you finally going to leave that loser?" Emily's cruel laughter echoed through the room as she responded, "Not yet. First, I'm going to drain every penny out of this fool, humiliate him to the max, and then toss him out like trash." Each word cut deeper than the last, revealing not just betrayal, but a calculated plan to exploit and ruin him. James's emotions spiraled. Shock gave way to searing anger, and then to a deep sadness as he realized the woman he loved had been living a double life. The trust he had poured into their marriage was now a bitter memory, replaced by feelings of humiliation and heartbreak. But as the initial wave of emotion subsided, clarity set in. Confronting Emily immediately would be futile. Instead, James resolved to act strategically. He decided to stay silent, observing her every move and preparing his revenge. Determined to turn the tables, James wasted no time after uncovering Emily's betrayal. He knew that acting rashly could jeopardize his chances of justice, so he began methodically gathering evidence. Late at night, while Emily slept, James searched through her phone and computer, collecting incriminating text messages, emails, and photos that confirmed her affair with her boss. To ensure he left no stone unturned, he hired a private investigator who uncovered further proof of her infidelity and deceitful plans. Armed with a growing pile of evidence, James felt a sense of quiet determination. This time, the advantage would be his. With the evidence in hand, James sought legal advice from a top divorce attorney. Together, they mapped out a strategy to protect him financially and legally. They froze joint accounts to prevent Emily from siphoning off his hard-earned money, and James prepared divorce papers citing her infidelity, ensuring she wouldn't benefit from her manipulative schemes. Every step he took was calculated, designed to expose her and prevent her from succeeding in her cruel plans to humiliate him. As James worked behind the scenes to dismantle Emily's scheme, he also turned his focus inward. Channeling his anger and pain, he began a personal transformation. He dedicated time to James threw himself into rebuilding his life. He started hitting the gym regularly, regaining physical strength and confidence with every session. Therapy became a safe space to process the deep emotional wounds caused by Emily's betrayal, while his career became a renewed focus, helping him regain financial stability and pride. Every small victory was a reminder that he was taking back control of his life. He was no longer the man Emily had underestimated. He was transforming into someone stronger, someone ready to confront her and take back his dignity. With his plan meticulously crafted and all the evidence gathered, James was prepared to make his move. The time had come to expose the truth, and he knew that the revelation needed to match the scale of Emily's betrayal. James carefully orchestrated the perfect moment for the confrontation. He organized a dinner party at their home, inviting close friends, family members, and even a few of Emily's colleagues. It was the ideal setting to unveil her deceit in front of the people she valued most, ensuring her double life would be laid bare for all to see. As the evening unfolded, James remained composed, hiding the emotional storm brewing inside him. Once everyone was comfortably seated and the atmosphere was relaxed, he stood, his voice steady but resolute. He began by recounting how he had uncovered Emily's affair, his tone measured but unwavering. Then he revealed the evidence. Screenshots of damning messages, incriminating photos, and a detailed report from the private investigator. The room fell into stunned silence. The weight of James's words was undeniable, and the faces of their friends and family reflected a mix of shock, disbelief, and anger. But it was Emily's reaction that struck the hardest. Her once confident demeanor crumbled before their eyes. Her face turned pale, and she stammered as she tried to deny everything. But as James methodically presented proof after proof, her denials turned into desperate pleas for forgiveness. Her carefully constructed facade shattered in an instant, leaving her humiliated and exposed. The very game she thought she was playing had spiraled completely out of her control. For James, this was more than just exposing the truth. It was a moment of reclaiming his self-respect and showing Emily that her manipulative schemes had backfired spectacularly. But James wasn't finished. He had prepared thoroughly to ensure that her plans to exploit him were completely dismantled. In the weeks leading up to the confrontation, James had worked closely with his lawyer to freeze all joint bank accounts, effectively cutting off Emily's access to their finances. She was caught off guard when her credit card was declined during one of her shopping sprees, only to find that her access to their shared resources had been revoked entirely. He had also taken steps to secure sole ownership of their most significant assets, including their home and car, leaving Emily with no claims to these properties. Even her secret stash of money, which she had been saving for her new life, was targeted. Using the evidence he had gathered, James flagged her financial misconduct during their marriage. This not only invalidated her attempt to siphon funds, but also strengthened his case in the divorce proceedings. Emily's life of luxury evaporated overnight. The comforts she had taken for granted were gone. Leaving her scrambling without any financial safety net, James wasn't content with merely revealing Emily's betrayal to their social circle. He wanted the repercussions to extend even further. With the evidence provided by the private investigator, he crafted a detailed report and submitted it to the upper management at Emily's workplace. The report not only exposed her affair with her boss, but also outlined how their inappropriate relationship violated company policies. The fallout was immediate. Her boss faced disciplinary actions, which could include termination or other severe consequences. For Emily, the revelation marked the end of her professional credibility. What was once a thriving career quickly became a nightmare as whispers of her affair spread through the office. Colleagues who had once respected her now looked at her with disdain, and any hope of advancing her career was completely obliterated. What Emily had believed to be a strategic move of power ended up backfiring spectacularly, leaving her isolated, disgraced, and struggling to salvage what little remained of her reputation. James saved his final move for the courtroom. Armed with overwhelming evidence of her infidelity, he and his attorney presented an airtight case during the divorce proceedings. The judge ruled in James's favor, granting him a divorce with terms that left Emily without financial support or alimony. Her dreams of walking away with half of James's assets evaporated in an instant. Instead, she was left with nothing but the weight of her guilt and shame. To ensure she couldn't interfere with his life further, James also filed for and was granted a restraining order. By the time the legal proceedings concluded, Emily's manipulative plans had not only failed, but left her in a worse position than she could have ever anticipated. For James, this journey wasn't just about exacting revenge. It was about reclaiming control of his life. Free from Emily's deceit and manipulation, he began to thrive. The closure he gained from his calculated actions allowed him to focus on rebuilding himself emotionally, physically, and financially. With the chaos finally behind him, James embarked on a new chapter. He channeled his energy into personal growth, exploring new hobbies and forging deeper relationships with those who genuinely cared for him. His hard work and determination paid off as he achieved significant success in his career. Over time, James opened himself up to the possibility of love again, this time with someone who valued and respected him. The void Emily had left in his life was replaced with a renewed sense of confidence and self-worth. Reflecting on his journey, James saw the betrayal that once shattered him as a catalyst for transformation. He learned invaluable lessons about resilience, self-respect, and the importance of standing up for oneself. In his final message to those who might be facing similar struggles, he shared, "No matter how devastating betrayal might seem, it doesn't define you. You have the power to rise above it, reclaim your life, and rebuild on your terms. Never let someone's cruelty dictate your worth. Stand tall, fight for your dignity, and trust that brighter days are ahead." James's story, once rooted in heartbreak, became a testament to strength, perseverance, and hope. It was proof that even in the darkest moments, it's possible to emerge stronger and create a brighter future.